Okay, I know you think us Christians don't need to follow the Hebrew scriptures anymore, but I can't help but believe you're reading into this all wrong.
Why do you think that?
Well, I have a few reasons. First of all, Jesus says in Matthew 5:17 that until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass away from the law until all is accomplished.
Right, this seems to be the go-to verse to suggest that Christians must keep the law.
Well, it's pretty clear what Jesus thought of it.
Well, there's a couple things you noted there. If you read that verse carefully and sit on it a little while, a couple things start to stand out. You'll notice Jesus gives us two time frames. The first one being when heaven and earth pass away, and the second being when all has been accomplished.
Right.
So what does Jesus mean by either of these? What does heaven and earth passing away mean? Is this the end of the age he's talking about? Because some Torah observers will say the law is eternal and will never pass away. This verse seems to suggest otherwise. And how about the phrase, when all is accomplished? Is this talking about God's future actions?
Well,
My conclusion is that this is referring to Christ's work being accomplished on the cross.
okay.
But let's put these two questions aside for a second and talk about what we know for sure.
Which is?
Which is that line that says, not an iota or a dot will pass away from the law until all is accomplished.
Right.
So now we just gotta ask ourselves, is there any examples we can point to that suggest the law has passed away?
Okay.
And the answer is there are many. For example, in Leviticus 16:11, it outlines the process for the high priest to present a bull as a sin offering to make atonement for himself and his house, while killing a goat as a sin offering for the people.
Okay, I'm following.
But now let's go over to Hebrews 10:4 under Jesus and his new covenant, where it says it is impossible for the blood of bulls and goats to take away sins. Verse 10 says Christians instead have been sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once and for all. So I can now go back to Matthew 5 with some more clarity and understanding. How this reads now, with context in mind, is Jesus essentially saying, I'm about to say a statement that will be true until heaven and earth passes away. And that statement is this: not an iota or a dot will pass away from the law until I have accomplished what I've been prophesied and brought to earth to do.
So we're not bound to the Hebrew scriptures?
We are under Jesus' commands. The things he and his apostles preached and instructed Christians to do, that is the framework under the new covenant.